Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, and thank you for your comments. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And that can be open to interpretation for some people. That doesn't mean that you're going to agree with everything I say. But today I want to thank the ones of you who have supported me in this kerfuffle, really, because I never thought that by saying that I had interacted with people many years ago and I thought they were decent people would create such a fuss with some people. And so I appreciate those of you who do understand because I don't hate immigrants. I don't hate Africans or Caribbeans. And I think most Black Americans are like me. They don't hate those people. We don't come into contact with them that much in the South. And I only came into contact with them because I was living in populous suburban Atlanta community. And I taught at a school that had 22,000 students. And so there was a lot of students and there was a lot of diversity. So I was able to interact with the Somali students as well as other immigrant students. But I never dreamed that that would cause so much a misunderstanding and people, just getting upset because I said I thought they were decent people. And I see other content creators who have to clarify themselves. One content creator says that she lives near an immigrant family, Black immigrants, and she says they have a very cordial relationship. That doesn't negate the fact that there are problems with immigrants. And again, I think most Black Americans are like me. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate immigrants. But when we see problematic behavior, we have to call it out. What I do hate is that so many of them don't know how to behave when they come to another country. You don't come to somebody else's country assuming that it's just like the country you came from because there's a reason why you left the country you came from. And you don't come to that country assuming that everybody's supposed to adjust to the way you think or the way you think things should be done. And that is the problem that we are having with Black immigrants in particular. And the fact that I said I thought Somali people were decent does not negate the fact that they are problematic in this country and becoming increasingly so. Because in Minnesota, they are just out of control up there. And I'm going to have to do videos about that too. Because they're engaging in all sorts of criminal behavior up there. They're trafficking drugs and humans. They're money laundering, racketeering. They're murking people. They're doing all sorts of things up there. Now, I never would have thought somebody who came to this country from a refugee camp would become such a menace to society because those food allegations and welfare fraud is nothing compared to what this undercover surveillance has unveiled about their criminal and gang activity in Minnesota, which reaches all the way back to Africa. It is astounding what they're being accused of up there. But in a strange way, it's poetic justice for America because everything we do as Black Americans, we have to pay for it. If a Black woman gets $15 more in food stamps a month than she's supposed to get, they will throw a hissy fit and accuse all of us of stealing food stamps. So to have people come here and almost outslick them, but you really cannot outslick these slicks. But it's really kind of justice for them, for America, that you're watching the wrong people. I wouldn't do that. I don't think I would do that. Now, my husband says that anybody will do anything given a certain set of circumstances. But as it stands with me right now, I would go into another country assuming that I could break all of their laws and get away with it. They have no idea how sophisticated the surveillance is in this country. And they have been watching those Somali people up there in Minnesota for years. And then when they cracked down on them, it was severe. It was strategic and it was severe. And they're not going to let up. And all this smart ass talking that they're doing is not going to make a difference. Once the United States government gets on you, they're on you because they've been watching you. They have all their ducks in a row. And they know what you've been doing, how you've been doing it, how long it's been going on, and where you've been doing it. And when they come for you, they're coming for you. And there is nothing you're going to be able to do. You're not calling them racist or anything else is not going to make a difference because they've got the documentation on you. And now the Somalis is doing something that I think is very extraordinary by saying that. I saw this on another content creator's channel too, saying that God gave them Minnesota. So now they're just playing in America's face. But if they thought their fate in Somalia was bad, they're in for a rude awakening. But listen to this.
Yo, Minnesota was promised to us Somalis 3,000 years ago. And if you disagree, you're an anti-Christian bigot and you need help immediately. Also, if you read Genesis 12:3, it says that those who bless Somalis will be blessed, and those who try to harm them will bring harm upon themselves. I didn't say that. Genesis 12:3. Just saying.
So again, this guy's just playing in our face. Genesis 12:3 says, "And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curse thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed." This is God talking to Abraham. Abraham was a Shemite. Somalis are Cushites. They are descendants of Ham. Furthermore, Somalis are Muslims, so I don't even know if the Quran says anything like that. I don't know, and I'm not going to try to find out because that's not what our Bible says. He is just playing in our face, and I think he thinks it's cute, but it's really not cute. It's a serious situation in Minnesota with the way they're behaving, and the American government is not taking it lightly. So listen to the president.
The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief.
Well, then he's a fool. I wouldn't be proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. These Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, it just happened. They have destroyed Minnesota, that beautiful land, that beautiful state. It's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. And all they do is complain, complain, complain. You have her. She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with, go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution.
Now that's vintage Donald Trump, calling it like he sees it, regardless of whether anybody likes it or not. Now you have to know that the white people in Minnesota are complaining for all of this politicians getting up talking about what great citizens they are. The white people in Minnesota are complaining about the Somalis. And I don't know if they've ruined Minnesota or not. My husband and I went to Minnesota a few years ago to the Mayo Clinic. My husband will track down a doctor no matter where he is. But anyway, they call it the land of 10,000 lakes, and it is beautiful. And there are a lot of lakes. Everywhere you look, you see a lake. It might be small, it might be larger, but it's a lake. And actually, that was the first time that I had seen an Amish family in person. One day we were driving down, just driving down the road, and all of a sudden, here comes an Amish family in cart. And they said there are certain days of the week that they're allowed to drive the carts on the public roads. But it was quaint and it was interesting. We went in the fall and it was just beautiful up there. So I do hope they haven't ruined Minnesota. But anyway, getting back to my topic, I do appreciate your understanding. Some of y'all have been with me for a long time. So, you kind of know how I get down. But I do not hate immigrants. I don't hate anybody. But I am going to continue to call out this behavior because a lot is going on with immigrants now. And I want to go on record as having had an open mind and was willing to believe that people were decent when they've turned out not to be so decent, at least some of them. So anyway, y'all, thank you for listening. Thank you for your support and have a good evening.